Hello everybody, and welcome back to Monster Hunter World. I just talked for 16 minutes before this and realized I had the mic on mute because I'm an idiot sometimes. That's the perils of recording things. But yeah, today we're going to be hunting Tobi-Kadachi in multiplayer with Conceived Sorrow, or rather Alexia if you want to use the character name. Both are cool names. So that's what we're doing. Sorry, I hit the table there. My foot rubbed against it. Anyway, Tobi-Kadachi is probably one of the harder things as a greatsword user to get used to in this game. He's not bad once you get used to his moveset, but until you know his moveset, it is hell even trying to get a level 3 charge, even one. Never mind trying to hit a true charge, it's terrible. But once you get used to him, he's very easy. I would say he's probably harder than one of the things people bitch about later, named Odogaron. Odogaron's very easy as a greatsword user. I don't care what anybody says, he's easy. At least to me. So, yeah, getting back off of that. I'm going to show you how the SOS system works and how I'd recommend setting it up, because I had this set up from the first day I got it. I had it to invite-only join. Don't do that. It sucks. Unless you're in like an expedition. Excuse me, then it's fine because you have all the time in the world. But in a storyline mission like this, it's really more dangerous than it is helpful. Because, well, you'll be seeing it in about 10 seconds. Which, by the way, also, if you're watching this, I'm not going to be talking through the cutscene. I heard your plea, alright? I'm not going to be talking through... It makes it easier for me anyway. I get to be lazy, so I guess I'll shut up now, because you wanted me to. It was at that moment I knew this was going to be a fair bit more difficult than I gave it credit for, because I didn't know what Tobi-Kadachi was even like. And, yeah. So the SOS flare, like I said, you really want to put that to auto-join. To do that, you go to options. I think it's also, well, we'll get into the fight here in a second. That move sucks. But yeah, you really want to go auto-join. You don't really want to go invite-only, or confirmation only, or whatever they call it. You'll see why here in about a minute. But back onto the fight. I'm not going to talk more about the SOS system. Back onto the fight. This fight, the hardest part about it... I should be dead right here, by the way. I'm not going to tell you I deserve to live through this. I deserve to die. But, yeah. The worst part about this fight's definitely, in my opinion, the Thunder Blight. Now, later in the game, it's not a problem. You can just basically... forget ever getting it if you set your decorations up correctly, but at this point, it's a real problem. You don't have much to deal with it. To this day, I don't really know what even cures it. That's why you don't use the SOS. To this day, I don't even know what cures it. Because I never tried things. Because I don't know. I didn't do that. Should have done that, but I didn't do that. Now, if you don't know what Thunderblight does, well, you have a prime example right there. I mean, the handle even said, when you get hit, you have a higher chance of being stunned. Obviously, this is undesirable. You don't really want to be stunned ever, but... I think maybe a Nullberry. To be fair, I don't know that, though. And usually, as a catch-all, I try Nullberry first, because it's supposed to be, like, you know, nullifying status ailments in my mind. Maybe I played too many old school RPGs, I don't know, and I hear null, I think that. But, yeah, his most dangerous attack as a greatsword user, I would probably say, that's not really that dangerous, I just didn't really I wasn't very good right there. His most dangerous one is if you sit near his tail. Like I'm wont to do, I do it a lot. It's natural instinct. You remember that little... I don't know what... It's not a cartwheel. What is that? A flip, I guess? Where he flips in the air when he's standing still and then slams his tail down. That's one of the most dangerous ones. So you don't want to stand behind him all the time, because you're liable to just get, well, hit in the back of the head. In my experience, the best place to stand for Tobi-Kadachi as a greatsword user, is generally you want to stay at his side. The only things he can hit at his side is if he does a tail swipe, like in a big circle, which usually has a pretty big tail, or he'll look over to you and then he'll lunge at you, kind of like Otogaron, really. Both are very easy to dodge most of the time if you're not in the middle of a true charge and you go, oh damn, you can just see yourself getting hit, but you have to wait and watch it. But that's usually the safest. If you're having trouble with the boss, that's what I'd recommend trying to do. Try and stay at his sides. If you in front of him, he can, well, just kind of charge. Usually as a sword user, great sword user, excuse me. Actually, I think any sword user. If you want to get etiquette-y, you don't usually want to be by his head. The only time as a great sword user I ever am trying to hit something in the head is if I go, okay, this thing is big enough, I can just charge it, headbutt it, or, tackle it, and then it'll pass me by, and then I can true charge the tail. That's generally the only time I ever hit the head. Unless it's like a great opportunity and I just want to try it. Usually the head is kind of like the hunting horn or the hammer's domain. Generally speaking, the great sword doesn't impede on that too much. Unless you've already broken the tail, and even then it's kind of a douche move to do so, generally speaking. Like I said, I should be dead twice now, 3 times now. I don't deserve to live through this. This was not what you'd call great, a fight by me. But again, first time, things like this are gonna happen. That's why I recommend you're gonna have to grind and learn things as a greatsword user, or don't. I mean, hell, I didn't learn things for a long time. I still did pretty well. People thought I actually knew the fights for a long time. Like, no, dude, I don't know shit about these fights. I just improvise. I don't think that's how you're supposed to. That's the big sweep. It had a pretty big wind-up. He went away, and you saw him jump. Well, you're supposed to, like, get the hell out of here. I didn't do that. Ashamed to say. Also, you're supposed to, like, try and do anything to get rid of this ailment, and I'm not really doing that. I think it's because I just had no idea what could even do it, but I went over that already. I thought maybe Alexia, if she's halfway close, and I know the reason she wasn't, or rather he wasn't, whatever, I don't really, it doesn't matter. Anyway, the reason he wasn't over there is I think because the big AoE thing, but if he had been closer, I think the true charge might have hit. But hey, I can't fault him for trying to get the hell out of the way of an attack. I may want to, but I'm not going to do that, because that's stupid. But if he had blocked it closer to me, that thing might have actually fell down. I think you're just wanting people to be bad just so they can help you. Well, maybe. Maybe. I also would like, not to be stun-locked. Oh man, it's so embarrassing to watch back. It's like, dude, you really sucked at one point. But thankfully, once he does get tired, he's kind of a pushover. He doesn't really do much when he gets tired. You thought I missed, didn't you? I thought I missed too, looking at it. I thought I missed that boy. Those are the best, right there. When you, you're like, oh damn, I missed. And then, boom, you hit right on the tail or right on the head. Those are like, I didn't even know I hit that thing. Like, whoops, I didn't even mean to hit it there. That's not something you should aim to do, by the way. It's just kind of whoops. But I'm actually surprised this worked. I'm just going to tell you, in high rank, don't ever, use a thunder trap on things like this. The reason, because I think in high rank, usually they might actually get stronger if they're thunder type and use a shock trap. I know some things do. I'd imagine Tobi-Kadachi's on that list. Maybe they meant, oh no, you can't trap them anyway. Well, either way. At this point, once you get him to the point where he just falls down over and over, if you can keep the pressure up, it's basically game over. The problem is I can't aim at the weak points worth a damn, so I end up just kind of hitting the white, the armored parts, which isn't exactly ideal. But generally speaking, as long as you're hitting true charges, you're doing your job, you should probably try and aim a little better than I am. At least that's the way I judge great swords. Like a few great sword users I've ran into in randoms, I just go, wow, these guys are hitting more true charges than I am. Some of them, though, I question whether they even know what a true charge is, because they... I mean, I can see that they're using crit draw. And crit draw is really nice, but, ugh. You don't want to try and only use crit draw. But yes, this is another oh crap moment. To be fair, this could have been a lot worse than it was, because Anjanath just kind of sat over there in a corner, just minding his own business for once in his life. I say that because every other time I ever see an Anjanath, he just kind of chases you, roars, and then never stops until you throw a dung bomb at him, or two. Normally, he's very belligerent and will just kill anything he runs into. It's also why I was pretty surprised he didn't go after Tobi-Kadachi himself. Usually, a lot of times, he'll chase the monster for you. I'm actually grateful he didn't, though, because fighting up here with an Anjanath and anything else at once is... well, I just hope you have paid up with your life insurance or have feline insurance. Hope you have feline insurance. There you go. Because you're probably going to cart. Now, you might wonder, why did you even try the second swing? To be fair, because a lot of times if you manage to hit the monster very often, or for much damage at all while it's running away, it'll actually go, ow, that hurts, stop it. I'm gonna deal with you now instead of running. That's why, but wasn't the case right there. I think I also did something really stupid. Oh, that was it right there. I was trying to charge. I didn't think he was going to be as fast. But you were running alongside him for the last 2 minutes. How'd you not know he was that fast? I don't know, okay? Don't ask me these things. They make me feel bad. Kind of like this. Now he's like, oh, damn, I guess I'll just take care of you now. Also, I think I just saw a blue number. If I remember right, I think the blue numbers... I think this thing I have now has like a minus 30% affinity. That usually means like... Oh, there's a trap that I just never saw. You saw a trap below me. That's, that'll come up later. But, yeah, I think if you have a negative affinity, you can actually negative crit, which is not really good. I think it does less damage, funny enough. So, that's why ever since I learned that, I was like, I don't see why anybody would ever, like, use the negative affinity things. But that true charge, I thought I'd hit it. You mean you accidentally almost hit it? Yes, but it wouldn't sound as good if I said I almost accidentally hit it. Like, I think some people think I know what I'm doing a lot. I get lucky a lot. Again, probably not something I should be advertising around to my allies who are probably watching this. They're probably like, hey dude, as long as you keep getting lucky, I don't give a shit what you do, man. That was a perfectly lined up true charge, though. That was like one of the only good ones. And it was after he was dead. Oh yes. That's Tobi-Kadachi in a nutshell. Greatsword users. It's a rough transition. Going from something like Great Jagras or, you know, Barith or even really... Anjanath's easier than that thing as a greatsword user. At least Anjanath usually stays halfway still. I'll tell you though, Anjanath kicked my ass so many times until I got used to him. It's terrible. Just because he has so many tail swipes, he has AoE fire, he has a bunch of stuff that can really screw you over if you don't know where to position yourself. Whereas Tobi-Kadachi, really only you don't want to stand in front or behind him, honestly. That's basically the nutshell of this fight if you're a greatsword user. If you just want the TLDR, don't stand in front or behind him, and try not to get hit, I guess. But yeah, that's essentially the whole fight. We still have a few more minutes to go because we're going to be introducing the farming system, or rather, they don't call it a farm. They call it the ancient tree, Barok. It's a farm. That's what it is. I never understood the whole lore behind the ancient tree, like grows mushrooms and bees. Okay, I can understand the bees because the bees make their things in trees. Okay, I got that one, but do mushrooms grow on trees? I guess they might on the trunks. I'm not a horticulturalist, but I guess that kind of makes sense. Because, you know, bugs go, yeah, no, I guess that makes sense. In a roundabout way. Never mind, I learned something today. I guess it makes sense. What doesn't make sense is plants. Well, oddly enough, how does a tree grow plants? These are the important questions. Like, how does a tree grow an herb? I don't know. Well, either way, they do. So, yeah, this is your introduction to it. Early on, I would recommend, mainly just because I'm a defensive kind of guy, that if you don't have a shitload load of honey, which you probably don't by this point, I'd recommend just doing honey. That's what I did. So you can make mega potions. But you don't have to do that. By the way, later on in the game, I highly recommend, because I don't show any of the optionals, I highly recommend if you get this yourself, do the ones that have an ellipsis, like chat bubble beside them, because a lot of times they'll give you either a mantle, more things you can farm in this, or a canteen ingredient, which is very important. So yeah, try and do the optionals. I still need to do a few, like the transporting the eggs. Oh god, I haven't done that because I haven't done the whole building a transition or carrying set. But people tell me, oh no, Barok, it's a lot easier in this game. I sure as shit hope so, because in 3U it was awful. I had to make a whole set dedicated to carrying the damn eggs in the volcano. But that's going to be it for today, guys. It's a short little video, but it was a fun one. So hopefully I'll see you next time. Until then, everyone.